roll. I'll turn my mic on. The clerk will call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Here.
Trustee Shear,
Here.
Trustee Fuller,
Here.
Vice Chairman Simulescu,
Here.
Chairman Tucker.
Here. The first order of business under administration is to reconsider an award of bid for construction of a 3-foot liner at the City of Durant C&D landfill and take possible action. So, Mr. Hightower.
I overlooked the deal in the bid sheet that said we would take the lowest bidder.
But can't we make an exception for Oklahoma-based businesses?
Well, they're both,
Well, so Philip's right. There was, the bid packet did say lowest bidder, but we have in our ordinances on bids lowest and best, lowest or best. So it doesn't necessarily say the lowest. We have to take the lowest, or the council has to take the lowest. So, but it sets forth some criteria to consider to justify taking a bid other than the lowest. So when you're dealing with taxpayer dollars, you take the lowest unless you can check some of these boxes. And one of those boxes is the previous experience with a bidder. And I think probably the biggest issue we have with this is not that it wasn't the lowest bid, but that one of the justifications was we've got previous experience with the one that was awarded, but we also have previous experience that wasn't known about at the time with the lowest bidder. And the lowest bidder actually did exactly the same service for the city before. And so I think we get in a jam with the lowest bidder, and it would be difficult not accepting the lowest bid when the lowest bidder has done exactly the same process for the city before.
The only reason I say the Oklahoma businesses is because I know that OML has made exceptions saying that you can choose to keep your taxpayer dollars within the state of Oklahoma.
So in our ordinance, I'll give you the section 37.022, it actually does say that in the case of a tie bid,
Right.
you can give preference to a local bidder. But this wasn't a tie bid. And so that you don't get to use that local other than to break the tie.
So Philip, what's our experience with both bidders? Has there been any difference in quality from either of these?
not that I know of. I did not know at the time that TGW did our landfill the previous years. The reason I chose Cole was because he also provides the surveying out there for this job. And my thought was, well, we've got him out there doing the job. I don't have to wait on a surveyor to show up to survey it. He can just survey it, keep going. But that's the only reason. I do not have any problem with the other bidder. I didn't know that they had they did our last sale.
Did you go back and look at any of the reports?
They did a good job. And I know Cole has done some jobs in town for embankments and stuff on houses that we've condemned, and he does an excellent job. So,
is there any difference on timeline that they're promising us?
no, I don't think there will be. I haven't talked to TGW. Our timeline's going to depend on DEQ now. After we talked to them the other day, them approving what has been done. So it's going to be first week, mid-September, either one of these jobs. There's not a lot to do out there. Just put in the liner and do the surveying.
Gotcha.
I have talked to Cole Craig about this. He does not have a problem.
We don't want to create a problem where there's not really a problem.
Right.
There.
He said he'd harbor no ill feelings towards
Good.
the city because he does jobs for him all the time.
Good.
And he's pretty understanding.
And I think TGW does a lot of work in this area besides just for the city.
They do land clearing all around. They did job out for DIA.
Right.
Out there by Cardinal Glass.
Right.
So
And they are a Texas-based company, but it's just barely Texas.
Barely, yeah. Just cross Red River, so.
So how did we figure out that this was the case? How did we not know this? Was that you, or was that y'all, you?
It wasn't me. Philip contacted me, or maybe Rick, I can't remember which, but it was identified that the bidder, and the low bidder reached out to the city.
Yeah.
And is justifiable, because we don't get to check those boxes that would allow us to take anything other than the low bid in this
Because
case.
those are directed toward a tie bid, and that's not the case here.
A tie, or even, yeah, some of them are directed toward the tie, like the local bidder.
Right.
But then there's others that allow you to take something other than the low bidder, but given what's now known, there's just not enough of those to justify taking anything other than the low bidder. Even though there's not much difference here, there's still a low bidder that meets all the criteria.
And I'll do the bid packet next time.
Any other comments, questions, concerns? Okay, so is there any action to take here other than, yes, we are reconsidering this bid, I suppose, right, at this point?
Just, that's it, considering it.
Okay.
Then I'll contact them, and then we have the contract to approve.
Is this something for future bids that we can put in, maybe that if it's not a tie bid, if it's within a certain percentage of a difference, that we could consider somebody other than the lowest bid?
I don't even think you have to put the certain percentage. I think we just have to make sure that we include language that's lowest and best.
Right.
Or best.
And so that doesn't lock us into the lowest bid, and our ordinance provide plenty of latitude for a best bid if it meets certain criteria. But
I'm
given
not
what we
fussing about this one, it's $4,000, like,
Yeah.
it's small.
Yeah.
It's pretty close.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
So I think the motion would be to reconsider the award of bid and award to the lowest bidder.
I'll make a motion that we reconsider the low bid and award it to the lowest bidder.
Second.
A motion and a second, the clerk will call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu.
Yes.
Chairman Tucker.
Yes, okay, item B is a contract for construction, a new contract, and this is C-2023-55. Now, did we write this contract
This is a generic contract that
from us or from them?
it's from us.
From us, okay.
It's a generic contract that I use for most of our construction that we do.
Okay,
And it'll be, I mean, obviously it's got some blanks in it, but those before signature by the chairman, of course, those will be filled in with the winning bidder and the winning amount.
any questions or comments on the contract as it's presented?
90 days seems like a very generous time frame, Philip.
That's in case we run into problems.
Understand.
What is the expected time frame if things go well and DEQ gives timely approval?
We had a pre-construction meeting, which we'll probably have another one, and they were talking like first to mid part of September, being completed and approved. The hardest thing's gonna get DEQ down there to approve it.
Right. Any questions on the contract?
No. Okay, can I make a motion?
Yeah.
Can I make a motion to approve 1B?
Second.
Okay. We have a motion and a second to approve the construction contract. The clerk will call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu,
Yes.
Chairman Tucker.
Yes. That's all the items we have. Thank you, Mr. Hightower.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I'll consider a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
A motion and a second to adjourn. The clerk will call the roll.
Trustee Miller,
Yes.
Trustee Shear,
Yes.
Trustee Fuller,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Simulescu.
Yes.
Chairman Tucker.
Yes, we stand adjourned.